You're supposed to introduce yourself.
Oh, I was supposed to go first? Usually when you do the countdown, you go first. What do you mean?
I go first either way, let's be honest.
Hello, everybody. I'm JJ Jr. and this is my co-host,
Dr. Zombie Dustin Seth, and this is Nerd Rant.
Yup. Who's ready for another episode full of tears?
Yep, so this one is going to be, again, pre-recorded, but we don't know what's going to happen in the last one, or this one, or the next one, or
Yeah, sure. We're talking about genres again. And if you didn't listen to the last one, please do, because we really don't want to have to relive that again.
No, we don't.
So go back and listen to that, and then come back, because this is going to be a ride.
So, okay. So how do we... So we did genres, and we're going to try to... I think what we're going to start with is we're going to break down all of the genre, like the main genres, to sub-genres, which will decide one of two things. Either decide if it's big enough to be its own genre, and like if it's small enough, can we push it to a different genre?
Mm-hmm. Because on our list here, we currently have a couple of them, like FPS and open world, broken up into subgenres, which we honestly should be able to do with most of these if they are, grandiose enough to have their own genre.
Yeah, at least in some sense. So I think we can let's start off with racing, because I feel like this one's going to be kind of easy. Because the way I think of racing is there's two different types of racing games. You have your generic... Actually, I could say three, but I'm going to start with my two, and then I'll say my third. So the first main two is going to be like real-life racing. It's like F1 tracks, proper racing. I feel like Gran Turismo... I don't know much about the racing games, but I feel like Gran Turismo is more there. And then you have your more open-world racing, which would be like Forza and Need for Speed.
Okay.
Now, my third one, because of the games that we have there, be like kind of like arcade shooter, goofy racer, like Mario Kart or hill climb racing. I do feel like that could be a separate type of racing, kind of like Fortnite racing, right? Like rocket racing, that kind of thing. Feel like that could go in like that kind of thing, and I wouldn't put that in a category like the others. But I also wouldn't say Need for Speed is the same thing as Gran Turismo.
Mm-hmm. I feel like they can still be divided into two, because even with like hill climb racing, it's still racing games. Like, you still play against other people in a race, and same with Mario Kart, you're still racing. Like, despite how goofy it still is about racing, and it doesn't matter if it has to be real cars or not.
No,
the subject of the matter is racing.
I was saying like a subgenre. Like, it is a racing game. I'm saying like a subgenre.
Yeah, I'm saying
I feel like
for the subgenre of those, it would be like arcade racing, where it's like you are fighting against other people, and then you have like open world or exploration racing, I guess, which would be like Forza and Need for Speed.
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
Okay. So time to edit our list here. I put it on a Google Doc finally, so Seth can see everything I'm doing. So now I have to be careful so he doesn't judge me.
I'm already judging you. Do we not want to? I thought we were going to keep the original 5 and then do two subgenres.
So down here,
I'm already judging you.
There's going to be a lot of that. So
one, I just judge him, and two, I do want to be a teacher. So like I have a odd passion about like making decent looking docs, and the fact that I stayed up till like 1 a.m. because I had to make a doc for work. Because I'm training someone, so I had to make my stock. Why'd you cross it out?
I don't know how it did that. It put a line through my text that this is what happened.
So the reason we're doing a doc is originally he was going to screen share, but then, for whatever reason, his text document started flashing, and not just on screen record. He saw it too.
Yeah, it just started blinking, like the text itself. The window was fine, but the text decided it was time to blink at me, so...
what did
and now there's a line through my text. How do I get rid of it?
Just keep going and I'll fix it later. I'm gonna go through and fix this whole thing. I'm gonna be honest.
Alright.
So weird.
Why did it again?
Well, now it's gonna keep going because that format's gonna be there.
But there's no button to remove it.
Oh.
This is not how I thought this would go.
I didn't think it'd
there
be this
has to
bad
be
either.
a button. Hold on, where's the button?
Okay, so we're gonna take some time. Oh my god. So if I go to line and spacing, I haven't done this in a while.
Okay. Exploration. I'm just gonna add our bullet points here. So we said exploration would be like Forza,
Need for
Horizon,
Speed, Gran Turismo, all those kind of things. Like the more realistic ones, but their main point is just simple racing, just a car going from point A to point B.
Yeah.
Maybe drifting, maybe off-road, whatever. I just want to do this one because let's just get it done. Because racing is definitely a genre of its own. I'm not going to put racing with sports. I'm not going to put racing with shooters.
Yeah.
But that way we can just knock it out. Because there are some other ones here that we probably can knock out pretty fast.
And then there was... And a Mario Kart is an important one, so we'll put that on there. And then one more exploration racing game.
Gran Turismo?
I thought that was like a arcade one.
No, I thought that's like Forza, but PlayStation.
Yeah, but Forza has both, is the thing.
Racing games.
Now it goes to us looking these things up.
No, why is the second one hill climb racing? Why is that the second thing? Why are there so many football games? There's Extreme Car Driving Simulator. I love that game.
Bruh. No, it looks like Gran Turismo is like actual races, not exploration ones.
That's why I was saying, like, I feel like that's different. But I don't think it's different enough to say, like, exploration.
I would call that
like
arcade
Forza.
racing. Like, if it's actual races, then that would be arcade racing, whereas
but I feel like
exploration
arcade
racing is
is
open world.
going to be more of a separate, like, Mario Kart, which is
But
still
Mario
racing,
Kart is the same thing. It's races, like actual races.
But I'm talking like it has extra elements. It's goofy. It's gonna be on the wall. You know.
But then it gets down to
power-ups.
like. Then it gets down to the point where even though it is the same kind of game, they're just adding other elements to it. So it doesn't change the genre. It just makes it unique to that genre.
I feel like when we get to fighting games, though, because that's another one, are we going to say, like, just generic? Like, because I would say Super Smash is different than Mortal Kombat. But that breaks it down to, like, that fundamental, like this, with those extra elements. Do you know what I mean? Like, because if we're gonna... This is hard, guys. Do you see what I mean, though? Like, do you kind of understand my logic a little bit?
I get what you're going for.
Hard.
I just don't think it really fits in its own thing, because it's still, like, the same kind of format where it's like queue up with people, go through a race, and there's first, second, third, you know, that kind of thing. And even though, yes, there are like ways you can sabotage your opponents and there's like fun little gimmicks, it's still a race. It's just more of a cartoony race than it is a serious race, as opposed to like Forza Motorsport where it's like realism.
But Gran Turismo ain't gonna have that. Like, that's I feel like Gran Turismo...
But that doesn't mean they're not in the same category.
Yeah, they're both racing.
Because, like, in reality, Fortnite and, like, drawing a blank, Call of Duty's Warzone, they're very different, like, games, but they're still in the same category, right?
Okay.
So I feel like that's the same thing here. Like, Mario Kart and Forza might be very different games, but they're still in the same category, despite, you know, having very different things to each other.
The struggle's real, chat. just looking. It's a lot of like the same game. Like I'm saying, like because I'm just looking up racing games. I don't know.
Ishira. On exploration racing game. Lego 2K Drive. There we go. That's an exploration one.
See, but like I said, I just don't. I put that more with like a Mario Kart. Like just
that one. That one is.
I know, but that's because we're doing
exploration.
I know because we said exploration, but I just don't feel like a Lego racing game is going to be the same as like an F1 racing game where it's actually...
It's not the same, but it's in the same genre.
Yeah,
in
both
games, you are going around in your car, driving and exploring and doing little collectibles and stuff. Like that is the game. Despite one of them being more geared toward kids and one of them being more geared toward adults. Like, even Lego games are, like, some pretty intense RPGs when it comes to kids.
Yeah.
But then you go to adult games that are in the same genre, and it's like, they are very similar in experience. It's just one is more built for kids to enjoy than built for adults to enjoy. So
I guess
even
maybe
though Lego is more built for kids, it is still the same kind of game as a Forza Horizon would.
Maybe I guess another thing that I'm seeing is maybe the aesthetic of the game itself. With like
but
Lego.
See, that comes to tags. That's a tag.
What,
like
cartoony
would be a tag, or like for kids that would be a tag. So like realism also would be a tag.
I guess. Because yeah, like I'm not gonna put, because it's like when you're thinking racing, you're thinking Gran Turismo, you're thinking this, you're not, but it is. But I feel like the first thing you're thinking of is not going to be Lego or Mario Kart when you're thinking, I want to play a racing game.
Well, it depends. Because, like, it is a racing game, but it is more of like a get together with friends and play a racing game. Whereas there are the more professional ones where people buy, like, steering wheel rigs and everything for it, where it's like the realism kind of games. That doesn't change its genre, that just makes it more professional, you know, more sweaty, I guess.
Are we really talking about getting sweaty in racing games?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Have you not seen that community? Like, holy moly.
It's just, it's like the sports conversation all over again. It's so stupid. But it's right. You're right. Like, I understand where you're coming from. It's just, it's so hard to not picture it in this way. Because that is what I've always thought of. I've always thought of something like Mario Kart as a separate type of racing game. As like Gran Turismo in a complete, or...
But then when you really think about it and, like, get down to what it actually is, it is similar enough to be considered the same category.
Which is stupid. Yeah. I don't know. We're going to be here all day because I don't freaking know.
Well, I think that's good. We got them in the categories. What I think we should do, and I'm going to say this here while we're still kind of in the beginning of the episode, I think we should open this up to comments and, like, share the link to this doc in the description of the episode and let people comment on certain sections.
Okay, so
obviously
here's what we're going to
do. But
here's what we're going to do. We're going to do two. I'm going to have a nice one with, like, spots open, maybe. And I'm going to have that one be able that you can not edit, but you can suggest so we can see. But we're going to have a separate one where we're going to work on privately that you guys aren't going to be able to see, just to keep it organized. Because if we're going to be messing with it and chat's going to be messing with it, it's going to get organized. So I will do that after this, and I will have a nice one with spots open that you can put in some ideas that you have.
Okay, well, we got racing then. I think racing is pretty much good.
So much easier.
I still don't know how to get rid of the lines.
I'll figure out the formatting. I might just have to reset the formatting. Screw your pixely text.
Sigh.
Do you want to platformer?
Okay, platformer.
So, I feel like this is going to be a great one where we have to decide before we really break it up. Is there enough? Like, what makes these different enough
I would say yes. So I think the main difference here is going to be because when I think platformer, there's obviously like all the ones we have here, like your classic Mario games, your Cupheads, your Sonics, you know, all those side-scroll platformers. But then there's 3D platformers, right? And I think would we consider that a different subgenre under platformer? Because if so, there's plenty of
3D platformer that you're thinking. A big one that I probably
obviously
would know.
We have like Mario Odyssey, we have Sonic Frontiers, we have Super Lucky's Tale.
So I kind of hate that because the first thing I think of when I think of that is partially open world.
Yes, but anything that is 3D is going to be semi-open world is the thing. And I would honestly, for those games, I would say it's more open zone because open world implies the entire map is at your fingertips at all times, whereas Mario Odyssey and stuff, you take on one world, in quotation marks, at a time, and you move forward to each new zone. And so that's more open zone. I wouldn't call it open world necessarily.
Okay.
So I think that's how we divide platformer here is 2D and 3D.
Yeah. What if I entered?
Okay.
So for
Mario,
3D,
Mario Odyssey for 3D is definitely a necessity.
So this is kind of what I was thinking when you said 3D because I wasn't quite sure. Would you put Portal
as a platformer?
Because I googled platformer and one of the first games that came up on the platformers runners on Steam was Portal 2.
I mean,
I can see
platformer. The only struggle there is I see that as a puzzle game, but I suppose puzzle would be more of a tag, wouldn't it? Because any game can have puzzles.
Yeah. Because let's be honest, I could be playing a puzzle Minecraft Fortnite map. You know. I
guess we can put Portal in there.
The main gameplay element in Portal 2 is the platformer, and you have to use platforming to complete the puzzles. Whereas the main gameplay element is the platforming. And then 2D, Cuphead, Celeste, Super Mario's, yeah. And I was about to say, I guess all 2D side scroller, or
pretty much.
These are side scrollers.
Some of them are like, because
I mean though. Like I'm just a little hesitant about 2D, 3D because I feel like it would I feel like those are side scrollers, and I feel like that's a little bit of a better term. But I guess not all side scrollers are platformers, are they?
Yeah, no, and some side-scrollers aren't always side-scrolling. Because, like, in a lot of the Sonic games, it's, like, behind cam, and then you go to side-scroll cam, and then, you know, I don't know.
We'll just keep it.
I think this is good how it is. Because it kind of differentiates, and the names are correlated to each other, so.
Yeah. Okay, platformer. Cool, we're done.
Platformers are
good.
Okay.
I'm good with this.
Okay, so Sandbox is next then.
Sandbox. So we're obviously let's focus on Sandbox, but the next one is also Battle Royale after that. And I feel like both of these are kind of the same, that they are both of these are kind of
Sandbox, I feel like we have a good split. So obviously, for the ones we have on here, almost all of these are story sandboxes, and then there's like complete sandboxes where it's like there is no end goal. So like things like Goat Simulator, while there might be quests and stuff you can do on the side to get cosmetics, there's no story to Goat Simulator. And that's just a pure sandbox game where you just run around as a goat.
Yeah.
I mean, hold on. I realize what I just said now in retrospect.
Because
that means that wouldn't go in simulator.
That's
you don't
why I'm
have a
Googling
simulator
sandbox
category
right now, because I'm like, well, remember we kind of talked about a vibe category that like more. So would it go there then? Yeah, because I don't.
Well, here's the question: Are simulator sandboxes?
That
like,
I just
would
Googled
they be
sandbox. Okay,
sandboxes?
so this is what the first thing that I Googled when art. What's the definition of sandbox, or what is a sandbox game? Sandbox games are video games that give players a high degree of freedom to explore and interact with a virtual environment in a non-linear way. So,
I just searched simulation games, and this is Game Rant's description. Simulator games offer a wide range of gameplay experiences, from building and maintaining vehicles to renovating houses and managing businesses. These sandbox games allow players to explore their creativity and customize their gameplay experience. So they directly call them sandbox games.
Which I do understand. That does make sense, and I get the logic behind it. But then, would sandbox be a subgenre then completely? No.
Sandbox wouldn't be a subgenre. Simulator would be the subgenre to sandbox. And then I would say we have like narrative sandbox games where it's a story game and you're very much in the world of this game, like Subnautica and Minecraft and like Terraria.
Ark. Maybe not Minecraft.
Minecraft can be a little bit more open. But you see where I'm going with that.
But yeah, like Subnautica and Ark, for sure, they have a story. Like Subnautica, your goal, like it's completely free on how you do it, but you do have a goal of getting out. Ark, you're evolved, like, you know, whatever. So, but do we... But then Minecraft and Terraria, I wouldn't really call, like, Minecraft narrative, but then would we have a third genre? Like Lego
Minecraft
Worlds?
is technically narrative.
Is it?
It's just more hidden narrative, isn't it?
It's all theoretical game theory narrative. What actual narrative is there other than some random buildings? You watch too much game theory, JJ. There is no narrative. There is no story. It's just, the only narrative I could possibly think of is the pillagers hate the villagers.
But in so maybe narrative isn't the word we use then.
Yeah.
Maybe narrative isn't the word we use, but I do think they all can share similar traits enough to belong in the category. We just have to find a different word than narrative.
Doesn't seem right, because I don't see... Terraria, I can see some kind of story, you know, because you have the Eye of Cthulhu, Brain, like all that kind of stuff, but I don't...
see that less than Minecraft.
What? The actual, like, Cthulhu, like, taken apart,
you have the
stuffs apart, you
have like
actual
the Ender
dialogue.
Dragon and the Wither that are very much correlated. The Nether being, like...
It's just
huge
dimensions
entity
with things, and the Wither doesn't feel like connected to anything other than just
yes, and Duke
Wither
Fishron
skulls.
is connected to the Eye of Cthulhu.
It is, like, there is literally, like, flavor text on stuff. Like, there adds so much to it.
Sigh.
Not to mention,
but we need
have,
another
like,
word.
Yeah. So, not narrative, so we have simulator. I don't want to say sandbox, because just open? Just free reign? Sandbox? Like, it's just more free reign? Like, because I feel like
creative sandbox?
Creative, yeah, let's go with that. Because I just feel like the difference is simulators you are simulating, whereas creative, all it is it's a medium, right? Like, Terraria is a medium and you can do whatever in there. Like Minecraft.
Yeah. Okay, so... for simulators, Goat Sim, Power Wash, I guess.
Power Wash, and would you put something maybe like 2 Point Hospital? Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I feel like we should take something from our main simulator. 5 though. Looking at our main 5 here, all of our main 5 would technically be in creative sandbox. So we should either swap some out here so that they can have one shared with simulator.
Honestly, let's switch Lego Worlds with 2 Point then. Because I do... Like, Lego Worlds is just the Lego version of Minecraft Terraria, right? Whereas 2 Point is more that simulator, but you are making your own hospital. Or it's different. There's 2 Points other than a hospital. I think there's 2 Point School. But it is, I'd say, a sandbox of that business/franchise thing.
And then
we're
we have
making
creative
progress, chat.
being Minecraft. No, I'm actually really happy with this because we struggled at the end of last time trying to figure out how
Some of these would work.
simulators would work.
No,
But
so
I feel like this is a
good.
good solution here.
So simulators are just a subgenre of open freedom sandbox games. You best put Terraria as that third.
Sigh.
Okay. So Battle Royale then,
Yep.
with .io is one of the 5. Okay, so Battle Royale, we have Fortnite, PUBG, Apex Legends, Call of Duty Warzone, and IO games.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. So, subgenre of Battle Royale. Or is Battle Royale going to be a subgenre of shooter, but then IO wouldn't be? What would IO be?
Because... Honestly, I feel like Battle Royale should be a subgenre of shooter. I think it should.
But then
I see
I
it
do,
is
I
probably
do.
the biggest of the 3 subgenres. However,
At least
I
nowadays.
don't think
not
there's
overall,
enough
I'd say,
Battle Royales.
Yeah.
Like, unless we wanted to get really nitty gritty and say, like, Fall Guys and stuff would be a Battle Royale, and then we could divide it to, like, Gun Battle Royale and other Battle Royale.
I mean,
but I feel like that's tags again, though. Like, that's too specific. It's a tag.
What type game is that? Free to play cross-platform multiplayer. A party royale game. So, this reminds me, have you heard the game Gang Beasts?
Yeah.
Gang Beast and Fall Guys. Would you say so party royale? I feel like that can be a thing. So, because I don't want to, but legitimately, like, what if there was shooter and party royale?
Okay, so we have Shooter Royale and we have Party Royale as
And
our
party
two
royale
subgenres of
could
battle.
be, I would put IO maybe in the party royale
Mhm.
with Fall Guys and Gang Beasts, and then you have
Mhm.
normal battle royale, Fortnite, PUBG, Call of Duty.
Yeah, I'd see that. I'm gonna knock Apex off of here in for putting in a different Party Royale, though. So we'll do like Gang Beasts in there.
Yeah,
and then
screw
we
you,
can
Apex.
sub-genre. Yeah, nobody needs Apex.
Guys, it's going downhill. They already screwed over their mobile community, and if you listen to our Battle Pass episode, they screwed everyone over. Okay, so I'm happy with this one too. I think this is a good one because I do. It's hard because, again, if we do it in FPS, it just feels like it's going to be a tag type thing. But I do think Battle Royale is a big enough type of game, especially lately, for it to be a genre type. Maybe Battle Royale isn't the best. Maybe just Royale. Just like, last man standing type things. Because yeah.
Do you want to go back and bold the subgenre titles?
I'm just gonna come back and redo everything. You can honestly just give up.
Wow. Yeah,
wow. You can just give up on it because I'm gonna have to change this
dare
formatting
you.
so that way we can also make it nicer for the viewers so they can kind of read everything.
Sigh. Okay. And shooter, obviously. Fortnite. And G. And then not PUBG.
Bubble G.
Sigh. And then
Call of Duty.
Warzone.
Yeah. Cool. That works. That works. So we've done platform, we've done sandbox, we've done Royale. We have some up top that it's gonna.
Let's go back. Let's go back and clean that. That's gonna be rough
because we don't play these. Fighting is sports. So definitely
fighting.
different. definitely different, right?
Yeah.
Fighting in sports.
Starting with fighting, obviously,
Okay. Kind of goofy. Wii boxing.
I don't know.
No.
Honestly, I would consider that
or
more of a
sports. Sports. So maybe just not fighting in the idea of fighting, but there's definitely like the button masher type fighting, right? Like that. At least that's not what it is. That's what you think of when you're thinking like, you know, arcade machines, or you have the different type of controller that you're using for these types of games.
So in obviously the definition of fighting game, it says franchises like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and Super Smash.
Yes.
So the real question there becomes, is there something we can find? Can we find enough games that are not that same formula as those games?
I mean, look at the things that are supposed to challenge it. Injustice, which is supposed to challenge something like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, is the same thing, but DC. Multiverses is another massive franchise that is quite literally just trying to copy-paste Smash Bros. So
this is definitely one of the least creative genres we've determined.
Which doesn't necessarily mean is a bad thing. It's just more niche. Like, it is a very specific type of thing. Like I said, like, you know, like you said, like, Wii Sports, that kind of stuff is going to be more in sports, even if it's quote-unquote fighting. Fighting is a very specific one of two aspects. And I guess maybe we can do that in the fact that it is either like 1v1, like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, or more Battle Royale type of fighting, which would be Multiversus Smash Bros. Do you know what I mean?
So kind of like in the sense of what we just did with Royales, where it's like a party fighting game, or like what would we call the other one?
I would say MP, but you can play Street Fighter MP too.
Street Fighter is a 1v1, isn't it?
It's a 1v1, but you can play against people.
Yeah.
Like online and stuff. Same with Mortal Kombat. And I would say the only thing I can maybe think of is, again, like more of a narrative, because there is a campaign in these. Whereas, yes, there can be a campaign. Smash and Multiverses and all those are just kind of meant to bring in IPs, which that's what those are meant to be. But there's not really a deep lore in there. So the only thing I can maybe think of is doing another narrative and then just multiplayer. Like, the main point of Smash and Multiverses is multiplayer.
Or arcade and party.
Arcade and party, that works.
I would say that, because obviously fighting games started with things like Street Fighter,
which was technically
in the arcade.
Multiplayer.
Okay.
You'd have two people on the machine.
Arcade and party, I think, are good.
Yeah.
If you come up with anything else.
Only problem is how we're going to fill all 6 slots. So I think we're good with party, like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Injustice, not for arcade. For party, Smash Bros, Multiverses. What's another fighting game? Do. What is this wiki page? Alright, so we got... Honestly? Have you heard of For Honor?
I've heard of it. Is that a fighting game?
That's what it pulled up. It is on the Steam page, but I can kind of see it. It's definitely a different type, but it's kind of like a PvP, but it's definitely more fighting style, like Mortal Kombat. It's just 3D, where you can actually like turn the camera, and it's multiple people, but it's generally like maybe more of a team win. But is there not modes like that in Smash where there can be a team win?
Or there is, but at the same time, I wouldn't put this one in a party one, because like if I'm playing with a bunch of friends, this ain't the game that I'm pulling out.
But does that
I would
necessarily...
honestly say
Party
this
would
is
be like
more
friends,
of the other one.
But party doesn't necessarily mean like with friends. It just means like you play with people. Whereas arcade, I'm thinking like arcade or like against a machine. You know what I mean? Like party doesn't have to. That's what people think of like party games, but it doesn't have to be. It's just with a party. Do you know what I mean? So are we referring party to specifically like a vibe party, or just party as in with people?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's what I was thinking
this
when
one
we
just
said
feels
party.
weird to put in that section. Well, it may fall into that section. I still think there's a better one we could find for it.
But it's a better one that neither of us know anything about.
See, that's the real question.
No, because yeah, I was about to say like some of the Dragon Ball games, but no, I'd put them in arcade. Brawlhalla?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Brawlhalla.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's how you spell that. Probably not. There we go. Okay. Okay, we did it for fighting.
We did it. I'm gonna say that might. I don't know, bros. This is gonna be an interesting one.
So sports now.
Sports. So now that we are doing subgenres, wait. Okay. So do we want to maybe? Not that I know anything else, but could this be where we can do more of that realism versus cartoony aspect?
See, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was thinking
like
we do
Rocket
like
League would be separate.
real sports and then like
Rocket League,
playful sports kind of thing, like
chainsaw tossing. Oh wait, that was in the parody Wii Sports.
My God.
That was a great video. If you know, you know. So yeah, not that I know
let's do
any
like
other
pro sports.
Yeah.
I think. So that would be
works.
like where you have your FIFA and your NBA.
So yeah, you can put FIFA, NBA, and Madden. Remove Wii Sports, and then we could put another goofy one in there whenever we find it.
But we have Wii and Rocket League in the top.
Are we gonna? But like, it's like pro sports, but like Wii Sports is pro sports, like tennis.
Well, no,
sure, it's not.
No. By pro sports, I mean the games that are actually trying to simulate full-on sports.
Okay.
Like they're trying to fully simulate the sport itself.
So
Where
it's gonna be
Wii
like
Sports
actual-
is more like a party sport kind of thing.
Anything else? It's gonna be like pro sports, and they're just kind of like anything else because it's either pro or it's not. So it's just Rocket League falls in that, but so would Wii Sports. Okay.
Yeah. So now what? Like party sports or like?
Because I don't want to do other.
Right.
But again, though, like I see what you mean, but like this is going back to that same question where I asked, party as in vibe, like Wii Sports, or party as in just with people? Because I'm not necessarily gonna pull, like you said, like I'm not gonna pull out Rocket League.
See, we just need to find a better word, though, then.
Yeah, we do. But I don't want to say multiplayer, because these other games can be Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Synonyms for multiplayer. Not online gaming. Team play? Co-op?
No.
Co-op.
That's... Still, I don't know.
Couch co-op. I'm just kidding. This is not working out. Hold up. What? This is... I pulled up the source for multiplayer, and I'm seeing jutsu and guys. Y'all want to go do some jutsu?
Sigh.
Cricketers. Counter-Strike. Related Minecraft. Okay, that was not Not what I was expecting. Do I want to look up synonyms for party? No, because parties, it's going to pull up the definition of, like, a gathering. We can put party for now, but we're going to make it clear that it's more on the multiplayer side.
Pub game?
This is
mini game? No, because then Rocket League wouldn't fit, because it's not a mini game.
Different thing. We can put party, but we're going to make it clear that it means party as in multiple people. And if you guys open up the document, maybe we will find a better one.
Yeah, you gotta find a better word for this, because this is not the right word.
This is definitely not what we want.
We can't come up with anything else.
Of anything else, because I don't want to say multiplayer, because almost everything's multiplayer nowadays. So, yeah. I guess we have to find another party sports game then. Poker.
IS Basketball Stars.
Mario Kart. Super Rush. You also got Mario Tennis.
I hate that all the racing games come up when I search up sports games.
You always got Mario Tennis.
Tennis Manager 2024.
But that seems pretty professional.
Yeah.
So we have FC25, we have Madden.
Goofy sports games.
Mobile.
Disney Sports Skateboard.
Okay, so here's one. Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Or like Skate 3.
Is skating a sport?
Chess is a sport.
I would call that more of a simulator than a sports game. Because while you can be a professional skater, it's not like something that they're going to have like a big professional league for, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean, like, it can be,
but I wouldn't call that a sport is what I'm getting at. It's more of just like a simulated skill.
But then just general sport in which blade-like runners or sets of wheels attached to shoes. See, okay, so skating is like a sub, because there's figure skating, there's ice skating, and I could totally see that, because I do see stuff like that as sports. It's a different type of sport. It's like getting into the debate of, is esports sports? I do think it's a sport. People do compete. There are tournaments for skating. But
Mario Strikers Battle League. What in the heck did I just
There's Mario
upon?
everything. Let's be honest.
Aggressive football with power-ups, power kicks, free tackles, no
Of course
penalties.
they threw the freaking mystery boxes into freaking football.
Bro, what?
Okay, I don't know that one, but I think Skate 3 works here, because it is a sport.
I don't think so. Because it's also not multiplayer, is it?
Does it have to be multiplayer? Like, you can
play
mean,
it. In the way we're thinking here, because we're looking for one for party sports, not pro sports. If anything, I would put skate in pro sports rather than party. But we're not looking for that. We're looking for party.
Grr.
I mean, there's Mario and Sonic Olympics.
I guess we can just throw Mario in here.
We don't play sports games, guys.
It's just... Let's see. iRacing. Got Rival of Aether.
Okay, I just put Olympics in there.
The Olympics.
Mario and Sonic specifically because it's
quite
interesting.
Okay.
All right. Well, those are those two.
Yeah. Okay. So we got fighting, definitely a genre, but we got some subgenres. Sports, definitely a genre, and we got some subgenres. FPS. I feel like this in story game are just. I don't think we're gonna get anything better, but I do think it's viable. I'm not mad about it, but I understand that I can see the people making an argument that it should be like shooter and FPS is a subgenre of that. But I'm also, I lean more towards the side of FPS being its own genre. We got then we got our racing, got our platformer, sandbox, which is simulators, that's like more open, Minecraft, Terraria, Royale, shooters, then we got our goofy stuff, and then we got our narrative-driven stuff.
And choose your own adventure are two that I'm like kind of split on here, because I do not feel like there's enough to really add subgenres to a lot of these. Like,
but this is just where it goes back to,
especially because we have Portal in narrative driven here, whereas we put Portal up in a platformer, didn't we?
We did. So
narrative driven, I think, is too broad, because that means any game really has a narrative in the forefront. I feel like
that's the problem. I think Choose Your Own Adventure works as that is the main story element. That is the main thing. You're going to be making choices that affect your next choice. Like Detroit Become Human's the big thing that I think of in like modern time. Mm-hmm. But I just think that is a subgenre in itself with some kind of narrative, which is definitely very open. But I think that's the final thing we have to decide in this episode. We have to define a better, slightly more specific narrative idea.
Mm-hmm. So here's what I think we should do then. The 5 that we have here in narrative driven, we need to try and find in our list of genres where else they would go to really say that all of these can belong somewhere else.
Yeah. So originally I feel like because I've seen God of War and the narrative driven it's just very linear.
Hey.
And that's not necessarily a main thing. Like there's other stuff, like God of War is definitely like the crazy combat and mythology, so like some story there, but the gameplay itself is very linear, that I'm not going to put in like all these open world, open adventure, open story, but it's also like a dungeon crawler or choose your own adventure. So because I can't put God of War anything else, at least that we have.
I mean, here's an idea. So one of the biggest genres in gaming is action adventure as a genre. That is like one of the most used for pretty much everything.
Yes.
A lot of these would fit that. It's an action adventure game, not necessarily open world, not necessarily like so focused on the narrative that it's only that, but it's like it's an action adventure game.
Okay.
What if we just switched to that?
I think I'd be fine with that. I definitely think that works. It is adventure, aka narrative driven, but it's not necessarily narrative. It's more on the actually like combat or something. However, I definitely do think we have to get rid of Portal. I do think I prefer it in platformer.
So what are we putting in its place?
So if we're doing a little bit more action, I think you're going to be happy with this. Would you put Scarlet Nexus here?
Yeah.
I think that definitely fits. When I think action and that kind of stuff, I think Scarlet Nexus fits. So there we go. So we have 5. So now, do we want to break this up then?
We have to.
We have to. So action adventure.
So what is the question?
What is the question? And are we going to keep Choose Your Do we want to put Choose Your Own Adventure as a subgenre? Or is that... Because I don't see that being enough. I see, like, narrative itself. But Choose Your Own Adventure is just that action-adventure. Maybe a little bit more... Maybe not necessarily action, but that adventure-driven. It's just... Maybe tag. Maybe Choose Your Own Adventure is the tag. But... Like, Detroit Becomes Human, I definitely feel like that's an important aspect.
Question is, I wouldn't really put that in the same category as something like Scarlet Nexus and
Last of
God
Us
of War that are like, you have a story that you are playing out, and there's not much choice you can make in it.
I mean,
because all of these games have a definitive ending. Like, you're not changing the ending no matter what. Whereas all of our Choose Your Own Adventure games have different endings.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I guess technically not. Tales from the Borderlands and Minecraft Story Mode all
I feel like have
the
a very
same, just
definitive
slight differences.
Yeah. But like, Detroit Become Human, obviously Henry Stickmin, there's definitely so many things that change. Because do we... I feel like we kind of put ourselves in a pickle. Just this whole genre itself I feel like this is going to be difficult, right? Just the story narrative, because... But I do think action adventure, I'm very happy we chose that. I think that is definitely going to help us some way. It's just, I feel like we have to decide some other stuff before we separate that. Because... I don't know, JJ, help. Because I have logic, but then I'm just like, that's wrong, but that's right, but I don't know where to go, because if I talk, I'm just going to go over here. So how are we going to keep track on this one? We got about 7 minutes.
This is
8 minutes
really
to figure
tough.
this out. I don't want to make episode 4 just narrative-driven games, because I feel like that was half of the last one.
Right?
But we're already at 51 minutes, and this is going to be the hardest.
This is like the last bit. Like, this is the last stretch, and we have 9 minutes left.
And this is going to be the hardest, I feel like, because it's just the idea behind it is so generic, right? Like sports game, even though some of them are harder, like Rocket League, that's harder to like see as a sports game than like FIFA. There is definitely merit to that. And some kind of like basic hierarchy of like story to like subgenre. Yes, the hierarchy and like this tier list of like genre, subgenre, subgenre in this, or tags versus main genre, is just too broad with open world action adventure, choose your own adventure.
If our goal is to merge choose your own adventure with this, then what if we made our subcategories like locked story and like freeform story? So you have all of your action adventure games that are like, you are playing out this character's story and there's not much you can change. And then you have all the ones where, sure, you're playing as a character in an action adventure setting, but the ending can change based on what you do.
Okay, yeah. I think I'm happy with that. We'll start there. It's still just a little difficult, and I feel like we might change this, but I definitely do think that is a good starting point.
Okay. Okay, so locked story, Guardians of the Galaxy is definitely one.
Yep. So just real quick, with the locked story, does that mean it has one specific ending?
Yeah, one definitive ending.
So I'd put God of War there, but not Scarlet Nexus. Scarlet Nexus technically has 2. Though they're very definitive in each of them, there is technically 2 endings. Right?
No.
No?
No.
Well,
did you beat that yet?
No. And even if I did, I didn't beat both.
No. Okay. Scarlet Nexus has one ending.
Okay.
Okay, then freeform. So we'll grab a couple from our Choose Your Own Adventure. So Minecraft Story Mode, right? No, that... Wow.
Yep. Well, let's not do that one. Let's do some other.
Detroit Become Human
Detroit
first.
Become Human.
More important.
Henry Stickmin? And I don't know about the third. I'll let you. Whatever you think's best. We have Minecraft Story Mode, Tales from the Borderlands, Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3, I think, would probably be my one because it has multiple endings, right? Baldur's
I guess so, yeah.
3 have multiple endings. I can type well. Does have many different endings, yeah.
Okay.
More than 3, so I'd say that qualifies.
Yeah.
So, Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh. Okay. So that's good. Do we want to just get
So
rid of
we
that
can just
whole thing?
remove, choose your own adventure. Bye-bye.
And then, did we decide last time that dungeon crawlers, though small, is enough for your own? I feel like we did. I'm happy with it being one of the very few, because there's obviously other genres we can get to. We're not going to right now. But I do think it's enough to be its own, right? Like, and I feel like the main example that's going to be Minecraft Dungeons. I don't see that as like a narrative-driven, but I do think, like I said, the main point is the dungeon crawler. Whereas like, something like Henry Stickmin or Detroit Become Human, the main gameplay element, though you can walk around and do this and that, is the choosing part of that.
I think we can leave that one.
So that's going to be the only one that's not going to have subgenres right now. I'm just warning people in the future that we are going to get more.
Probably.
But I think we did good today, JJ. I don't think I'm in as much pain as last time.
Right?
Just till we break it down. When we break it down, we're going to cry.
This is
just warning you. And I'm warning the viewers. Tears may be shed next episode. But no, I'm happy. So like I said earlier, like we both said early in the episode, I'm going to modify this to like make some specific slots that you guys can put your ideas in. So what kind of games do you want to fill us in? So as us, especially when it comes to the sports and fighting, we don't know as much. So what kind of games do you think deserve to be in those categories? So we can maybe look them up and try to get a better understanding. Because even though we don't play sports, we eventually will do a sports episode. Sports game genre episode. Sports game genre episode. So yeah. Do you want to do the outro this time?
Thank you all for listening to our Suffering Part 2, or Part 3 now, I guess.
Three.
Yeah, definitely try and help us with this list. Follow us on our social medias and all that good stuff. Like on YouTube and follow on Spotify. And all the stuff that will help us, justify our suffering.
That's never going to happen.
But apart from that, we'll see y'all later.
See y'all later.
Peace out.